राष्ट्रपति भवन में राष्ट्रपति द्रौपदी मुर्मू ने आज पद्म पुरस्कार विजेताओं को पुरस्कार प्रदान किए। समारोह में उपराष्ट्रपति जगदीप धनखड़ और प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के साथ साथ कई केंद्रीय मंत्री और कई विशेष अतिथि भी मौजूद रहे। देश के सर्वोच्च नागरिक सम्मानों में से एक पद्म पुरस्कार 3 श्रेणियों पद्मश्री, पद्म भूषण और पद्म विभूषण में प्रदान किए जाते हैं। ये पुरस्कार कई विषयों जैसे कला, सामाजिक कार्य, सार्वजनिक मामले, विज्ञान और इंजीनियरिंग, व्यापार और उद्योग, चिकित्सा और साहित्य आदि में दिए जाते हैं। राज्यसभा इंटर्नशिप कार्यक्रम के 7वें चरण के उद्घाटन सत्र को संबोधित करते हुए उपराष्ट्रपति जगदीप धनखड़ ने कहा कि संसद 140 करोड़ लोगों की इच्छा का प्रतिबिंब है। उन्होंने कहा कि संसद बहस, संवाद, चर्चा और विमर्श का सर्वोच्च मंच है।
इंडियन पार्लियामेंट इज मच बियॉन्ड अ लेजिस्लेटिव बॉडी। It is reflection presently of 1.4 billion people will. It is the only legitimized constitutional platform that reflects authentically the will of the people, and therefore Parliament has primacy. Parliament has primacy not in everything, because there are areas where executive has primacy, how to govern. Judiciary has primacy, how to deal with justice system. But Parliament has primacy on 2 counts. 1, it is ultimate authority to make law. Secondly, it holds executive accountable, because governance is defined by some fundamentals, and one fundamental is transparency. Second is accountability. And in modern times, we have added a third facet to it: optimal performance by institutions to gallop our progress trajectory. Parliament is a place, ultimate place for debate, dialogue, discussion, and discourse. When you will be exposed to parliamentary functioning of committees, you have to be highly inquisitive. By and large, on several issues, you have to self-learn. Self-learning is a new mode of learning, because even those who walk out of universities and colleges, learning never stops. We will be on quicksand of time if we don't change with times. And therefore, as reflected rightly,
उपराष्ट्रपति ने कहा कि हमारा संविधान एक पवित्र दस्तावेज है। संविधान निर्माताओं ने लगभग 3 वर्षों के गहन विचार विमर्श के बाद इसे तैयार किया।
Our Constitution, boys and girls, is a most sacred document. You will come to know how it was formalized little less than 3 years by our founding fathers, who dealt with divisive issues, contentious issues, issues that were highly inflammatory. But they dealt it with an approach of coordination, cooperation, consensus, something you have to learn in life. And for that, what is important is that you must always respect the other point of view. Because if you think you alone are right, the other person is wrong, you are depriving yourself of a great benefit of input. And secondly, my own experience is, more often than not, the other point of view is the correct point of view. This document, painstakingly evolved, has taken note of our civilizational growth also. If you look at the Constitution as signed by framers of the Constitution, you will have the occasion to see it. When you see it, you will find it has 22 miniatures. Each miniature reflects our historical past, glorious historical past. It shows Gurukul, it shows Indus Valley Bull, it shows Ram, Sita and Lakshman coming back to Ayodhya after triumph of goodness over evil. That is in part 3 of the Constitution, fundamental rights. When it comes to directive principles of state policy, you will find Bhagwan Krishna giving discourse to Arjuna at Kurukshetra. And you can keep on going to other facets, you will know about it. But Constitution grants fundamental rights. But Constitution, apart from granting fundamental rights, also ordains every citizen to perform duties. Rights have no meaning unless they are enforceable. And therefore, boys and girls, not. India is amongst very few countries in the world where for enforcement of a fundamental right, you can knock the door of the highest court of the land. You can access judiciary at the premium level to vindicate your fundamental rights. But every citizen and institution must exercise their powers within constitutional boundaries, upholding constitutional ideals. We can love our neighbor only when we don't make incursion in the exclusive domain of the neighbor, physical territory and otherwise. This constitutional domain sanctity is required to be preserved in all situations. If there is any disruption of it, you can sense danger.
उपराष्ट्रपति ने कहा, पहलगाम हमले का जवाब ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के जरिए दिया गया। सेना ने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा में घुसकर आतंकी ठिकानों को निशाना बनाया।
Right now after Pahalgam and the response thereto, the entire nation is witnessing an upsurge in nationalism. A new sense of patriotism is within us. The entire nation has risen as one. Because for the first time, Bharat has demonstrated to the entire world no more tolerance of terrorism. This is bold, powerful Bharat. And that is why something the history will record. It never happened in our country before and has happened in the world very infrequently. Murid ke, Bhavalpur, headquarters and bases of Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, they were targeted precisely, penetratingly, devastatingly, causing no injury to peace-loving people, targeting only the terrorist. Because our civilizational essence is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, world is one. And therefore, India's strategy has been to target not civilians, but only terrorists. And what a demonstrable exercise it was. Their coffins were escorted by their army, by their politicians, by terrorists. No proof needed. I emphasize, we can serve the nation impactfully as individuals because we have the opportunity to contribute by performance of duties. The balance has to be maintained. Let us not cherry pick. We'll go for fundamental rights, claiming them 24/7 and be totally oblivious of fundamental duties. Boys and girls, you will have the occasion to focus on Constitution. But part 3 of the Constitution is heart of it. Articles 12 to 35, they give 6 fundamental rights. Right to equality. Earlier we had privileged pedigree. Meritocracy had no place. Patronage was a password for a job, for a contract. Some people thought we were above law. Some people thought we are beyond the reach of law. They thought we are immune to law and law enforcing process. Now you know it, all are equal. Those who thought they are beyond the reach of law are facing the heat.
उपराष्ट्रपति ने कहा कि ऑपरेशन सिंदूर ने हमारी सोच को पूरी तरह बदल दिया है। अब हम पहले से कहीं अधिक राष्ट्रवादी हो गए हैं।
For national security, for national economy, for national welfare. The recent episode, Operation Sindoor, has changed our mindset massively. We are now nationalistic as never before. And this is reflected in participation of all political landscape in delegations that have gone abroad to project our message of peace and our complete intolerance to terrorism. And therefore, having seen recent events, we have no choice. We have no other option but to remain united and grow stronger. For national security, we need indigenous strength. War is best avoided from position of strength. Peace is secured when you are ever ready for war. And therefore, strength comes apart from technological prowess, conventional arms strength from people also. That we have to bear in mind.
नागरिकों को उनके कर्तव्यों के पालन की आवश्यकता पर जोर देते हुए उपराष्ट्रपति ने कहा कि संतुलन बनाए रखना जरूरी है।
The second is the right to freedom. Now this right is very fundamental because expression and dialogue, discourse define democracy. But this comes with a great all rights come with responsibility. The right against exploitation, the right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. But if we focus only on our rights and not on duties, we don't measure up to the requirement of a citizen in the largest democracy, the oldest, the most functional. There are 11 fundamental duties. These duties were not initially there in the Constitution. And I'll tell you for a reason. Our founding fathers obviously expected that we will be alive to these duties. We will respect those duties. But when it was noticed that it is required to spell them out in the Constitution so that people in particular become aware of these, and these were introduced by 42nd Amendment and 86th Amendment. If I have to give a sense of fundamental duties, it is to prioritize national well-being, to contribute optimally for public discourse, public order, public discipline, environment, everything which is known as goodness in life for one and all.
उपराष्ट्रपति ने कहा कि आर्थिक राष्ट्रवाद का मतलब है कि हम स्वदेशी वस्तुओं का उपभोग करें, वोकल फॉर लोकल को अपनाएं।
Swadeshi, I'll focus on that. Sometimes people wonder how can we contribute. Swadeshi is closely connected with economic nationalism. Economic nationalism means we must consume Swadeshi. We must always take into consideration being vocal for local. This will inspire our people also to cater to our needs. But if we start importing from other countries items that are generated in this country, that can be made in this country, we are immediately inviting three troubles. One trouble, there is avoidable hole in our foreign exchange reserve, and this is in billions of dollars. Second, when we import items that can be made in this country, we are snatching work from our own people. We are depriving them of work. And thirdly, more importantly, we are blunting entrepreneurship. So every individual can contribute what cloth he wears, what he eats, what he wears as shoes also. Everything, these are consumables. We fancy what is abroad, unmindful of the situation that we are injuring our national economy. I therefore assert economic nationalism is business of the people. Secondly, I appeal to trade, industry, commerce, and business. What I tell them, please don't export raw materials. Add value to raw materials. If you export raw materials, you are declaring to the world two things. One, that you are not capable of adding value, which you are. And similarly, all three things happen. We can make more foreign exchange, if value is added, our people will get job.
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने गुजरात के गांधीनगर में 55,000 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक की विभिन्न विकास परियोजनाओं का उद्घाटन और शिलान्यास किया। इस मौके पर प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा कि हाल के घटनाक्रमों ने साबित किया है कि पाकिस्तान का भारत के विरुद्ध तथा कथित छद्म युद्ध वास्तव में एक सुनियोजित युद्ध रणनीति है।
जो देश उस महान सांस्कृतिक परंपरा को लेकर के चला है, वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, ये हमारे संस्कार है, ये हमारा चरित्र है, सदियों से हमने इसे जिया है। हम पूरे विश्व को एक परिवार मानते हैं। हम अपने पड़ोसियों का भी सुख चाहते हैं, वे भी सुख चैन से जिए, हमें भी सुख चैन से जीने दे। ये हमारा हजारों साल से चिंतन रहा है। लेकिन जब बार बार हमारे सामर्थ्य को ललकारा जाए तो ये देश वीरों की भी भूमि है। आज तक जिसे हमें प्रॉक्सी वॉर कहते थे, 6 मई के बाद जो दृश्य देखे गए, उसके बाद हम इसे प्रॉक्सी वॉर कहने की गलती नहीं कर सकते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा कि 6 मई की घटनाओं के बाद भारत को आतंकी गतिविधियों का प्रमाण देने की अब आवश्यकता नहीं है। अब यह साक्ष्य सीमा पार से स्वयं दिया जा रहा है। प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा कि भारत किसी से दुश्मनी नहीं चाहता है, भारत शांति से रहना चाहता है। उन्होंने कहा कि देश के इस तरीके से प्रगति करने की आकांक्षा रखता है जो विश्व के कल्याण में योगदान दे सके।
हम किसी से दुश्मनी नहीं चाहते हैं, हम सुख चैन की जिंदगी जीना चाहते हैं। हम प्रगति भी इसलिए करना चाहते हैं कि विश्व की भलाई में हम भी कुछ योगदान कर सके। और इसीलिए हम एक निष्ठ भाव से कोटि कोटि भारतीयों के कल्याण के लिए प्रतिबद्धता के साथ काम कर रहे हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने कहा कि स्वाधीनता के 100 वर्ष पूरे होने पर विकसित भारत के दृष्टिकोण को प्राप्त करने में कोई समझौता नहीं किया जाएगा।
हमें अपनी ब्रांड पे गर्व होना चाहिए, मेड इन इंडिया पर गर्व होना चाहिए। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर सैन्य बल से नहीं, जनबल से जीतना है दोस्तों। और जनबल आता है मातृभूमि की मिट्टी में पैदा हुई हर पैदावार से आता है। इस मिट्टी की जिसमें सुगंध हो, कि इस देश के नागरिक के पसीने की जिसमें सुगंध हो, उन चीजों का मैं इस्तेमाल करूंगा। अगर मैं ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को जन जन तक, घर घर तक लेके जाता हूं, आप देखिए हिंदुस्तान को 2047 के पहले विकसित राष्ट्र बना के रहेंगे।
संसद भवन परिसर में आज 24 सदस्यीय श्रीलंकाई संसदीय प्रतिनिधिमंडल ने लोकसभा अध्यक्ष ओम बिरला से मुलाकात की। इस मौके पर आतंकवाद समेत कई दूसरे विषयों पर विस्तार से चर्चा हुई। लोकसभा अध्यक्ष ने इस बात पर जोर दिया कि आतंकवाद चाहे वह किसी भी रूप में हो, आज हमारी सभ्यता और विकास के लिए सबसे बड़ा खतरा है। उन्होंने उम्मीद जताई कि आतंकवाद के खिलाफ लड़ाई में सभी देश एक साझा मोर्चे और रणनीति के साथ एकजुट रहेंगे। लोकसभा अध्यक्ष ने आतंकवाद के खिलाफ भारत की लड़ाई में अपनी एकजुटता व्यक्त करने के लिए श्रीलंकाई प्रतिनिधिमंडल को धन्यवाद दिया। साथ ही इस वैश्विक खतरे के खिलाफ मिलकर काम करने की जरूरत पर भी जोर दिया।